Hi, thank you for joining us on today's episode of Get Fit. I'm Tam and this is Des. Today we're going to be practicing a little bit of mobility. So mobility is very important. There's a lot of hazards out there in just our daily, day-to-day life. So to start from the very beginning, we're gonna start with our toes and ankles with some ankle mobility. So we have a few different levels. Level 1, we will start seated in a chair, or even better, if you do have an exercise ball, you can try and use that. So what we want to do is we want to sit on the ball with our abs tight and our chin up. Keep your neck in line with your spine. We're going to take our right foot, just extend that right foot forward, bending the knee slightly, and we'll do some circles with our ankles. When we do those circles, try and get your full rotation all the way up, down, and side to side. We'll do 20 in one direction, and then we'll stop at the top once we've gotten to 20, and then we'll go in the other direction for 20. So you can slow that down, speed it up however you see fit. Throughout that range of motion, you might be able to feel some pinching or crackling or crunching. Let's smooth that out. And once you get to 20, we'll stop, take a break, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. So same thing, abs tight, hips stable, lift the knee, 20 circles. And just go at your own pace. Don't forget to breathe. Halfway there. All the way up, over to the side, all the way down. And then once you get to 20, we'll take that to the other direction. And just by lifting the knee, a little bit of work through the hip flexors, a little bit of abs, all the way around. And once you get to 20, you can take a break and shake that out. So that's our level 1. Level 2, this becomes a little bit more difficult just because you do need some stability here. So we'll grab onto the wall or the back of your chair. This is the back of your chair or the ball, just for some stability. Abs tight, and we'll do the same thing. So 20 one direction, and 20 the other direction. And keep your abs tight. Don't forget to breathe. I know sometimes when you're concentrating, it's a natural thing to want to hold your breath. So I'm gonna breathe through that. And then once you've gotten to 20, take that in the other direction. Try not to move too much from the knee when we're doing that. It's all through the ankles. And then once you get to 20, take that the other side. All the way around. Are you feeling any snap, crackles, and pops in there? Feel pretty loose? Yeah, so mobility is very important for sports performance. If you are squatting, or if you're a hockey player, sports, baseball, anything, day-to-day life, hiking, it's important to have quick, strong ankle mobility to prevent injuries. And another thing that happens to us as we age, if we don't use our proper range of motion, we will start to lose it. So over time, if you don't have very good ankle mobility and you go to trip and snap, sprain an ankle, not good. So the third exercise for the same movement is working on some balance. Take your hands out at either side. Keep your abs tight, chest up. Don't forget to breathe. Keep that knee stable. 20 times in one direction. Keep that nice and smooth. Nice full range of motion. Now you'll notice in your leg that's on the ground, your foot is moving all over the place, trying to keep that balance. Once you get to 20, take it the other way. Don't forget to breathe. All the way up, all the way down and around, side to side. If you fall, that's okay. Just find your balance, pick it back up when you're ready. And then other side, same thing. Lift the knee, abs tight. 21 direction. Now you can do this at work too. It doesn't have to be part of your workout. Just sneak this in to your everyday activity. And other side, the other direction. And then once you get to 20, we'll shake that out. All right, how did that feel? It's good? Okay, so with this next one, we'll need to find a wall. So we'll come back against this wall. Hopefully that's good for you. And then we'll take our left leg forward, right leg behind. We're going to bend the knee of the leg that's behind, bringing that knee down to the floor. Keep your weight pressed in your back heel. And we'll push it forward and back. Push it forward and back. So keep that heel pushed down to the floor. Exhale as you lift. Now start bending that knee. Bending the back knee and then straightening the back knee. Bend the back knee and straighten the back knee. A few more. Try and keep that heel pressed down to the floor. Feel that stretch in the back of your ankle into your calf. And then switch sides. So other side, same thing. Start off nice and easy. Keep your heel pressed down to the floor. Bring it forward. Take it back. Bring it forward. Take it back. Now start bending that back knee. Bring that down. Straighten the leg, bring that down, straighten the leg, a couple more, and last one. All right, we'll shake that out. So for this next one, we're gonna come right down onto our mat. All right, so knees hip distance apart, keep your abs tight. We're going to take our heels behind us, directly behind us. Take your toes, press your toes into the ground, and then just lean back and sit back into your heels. And then just relax. Bring your upper body back. Don't forget to breathe. Abs tight, chest up, and then we'll bring that right back up. We'll do that a few more times. So you can shake it out as you need to. Take breaks at any time. Tuck those toes under, take that back. Exhale, and from here, to come out of that, let's take our hands, shoulder width apart. We'll take our toes, hip distance apart, dig your toes into the mat. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Straighten out the legs, push your heels down into the mat. And think about bringing your armpits down in towards your knees. Hips come up, exhale. And then we'll bring that back down to our knees. And sit it back. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. So grab some water, shake it out, and join us again when you're ready.
Welcome back to Get Fit, everybody. Before the break, we did a couple moves for ankle mobility, and now we're gonna move up the body a little bit and go to the knee and hip, two areas that always seem to have injuries, tightness, I know I got really bad hips, so this is one of my favorite things to do. But we'll start with the knee first. Again, this is gonna have a couple different levels. We'll start simple. So this is a perfect one, like Tam said before the break, that you can do if you have an office job. And it's just a simple flexion and extension of your knee. So just sitting up straight, engage that core, lift one leg, and you're just gonna straighten that leg and bend it in. Again, you're probably gonna hear some of that cracking and grinding. It's normal, don't worry about it. So just full extension and bring it back in. I'm gonna do this about 10 times. Kick it all the way out, back in. Last 2. Good. And let's switch to that other side. So plant that one leg firmly on the ground, lift that other foot, and stretch it all the way out. So doing stuff like this, especially if you have an office job where you're sitting a lot, is wonderful because you're usually always sitting with your knees bent in that 90 degree. And sometimes they like to get stuck. I know I've been there. So 10 times, extend it out, all the way back in. Last few. Last one, all the way out and back in. Now we said there's, again, 3 levels. So this is where you're gonna wanna find something to hold on to. Get that ball out of the way. So you're gonna wanna find something to hold on to, grab your balance, and we're gonna do the same thing. Lift that leg up, kick it out, all the way back in. So you see she's extending it as much as she can, bringing it all the way back in. And sometimes we might not be able to get that full extension, which is okay. You just wanna work on getting it as far out as you can. And also we don't wanna lock that knee when we extend it out. So if you're like me and you might be a little double jointed, you can push that knee all the way back. We wanna try to avoid that. Just small extension and back in. And we'll switch legs. So on to the other side. Bring that leg up. We're gonna extend it all the way out. And make sure you got your balance there. So really push your weight through that supporting foot. You want your whole foot in contact with the floor, so we don't want to be only on our toes or only on our heel. We really want to push that foot solidly into the ground. Get that full extension, bring it back in. Last few times. Last one. Good. And the third level of this one, which not everyone might be able to do, which is okay, but if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can try it. So again, we want to engage that core, stand up as tall as we can, and we're gonna find a spot on the floor, zone in on it, and extend that leg out. So remember how I said pressing that supporting foot through the floor? That's where this comes in to play. So the more of your foot that's in contact with the floor, better balance you're gonna have. Just try and get that full extension, back in. A few more times. And last one. Good. Let's bring it back to that other leg. So find your center, engage those abs, push that foot into the floor. Find that spot just a little bit ahead of you. Remember to breathe. So as you push that foot out, breathe out. And last one. Good. Now we're gonna switch gears, move it up to the hip a little bit. And we're gonna start again. You can either do this from a seated position. We're gonna show you all 3 levels. So as we're seated here, what you're gonna do you're gonna take that one leg up like we did before, circle it out towards the side. So take it up, open up that hip as much as you can. Now you can either give yourself a little bit of a challenge and try and keep that foot up off the ground. I'm having a little bit of trouble doing that. Or you can drag your foot across the floor as you do it. So 10 times. And let's bring it back down. Switch feet, plant that supporting foot, get that leg up, circle it out and around. A lot of the time too, when you focus on mobility, you're gonna find one side is always a little bit less mobile than the other. I'm finding my left right now is not as great, and that's okay. It's gonna be an indication of where you might wanna put a little more focus into. So last couple times, take it out to the side. Last one, good. So level 2, kick those off to the side. Again, find something you can hold on to. And we're gonna take that leg, if you can, up to a 90-degree, circle it all the way out to the side. So you really wanna feel that kind of right in your groin area. You should be feeling a stretch. And the one thing we kind of wanna make sure that we don't do when we're doing this is let our hips turn as we open. So we don't wanna follow it with our body. We wanna try and keep everything facing forward. Because if you're letting yourself turn, that means you got some pretty tight hips. So let's switch sides. Other way, we're gonna take that leg up, out to the side. And same thing, you might hear some popping and cracking. And if you're feeling a lot of resistance or you can't get it up to that 90-degree, then just take it a little bit lower and do the same thing. So not all of us are gonna have that great mobility right off the bat. So last few times, bring it up, kick it out. Last one, good. And third way we can do this, we're back to that balance. So we're really making sure that we're pushing that supporting foot all the way into the ground, finding that spot ahead of us, bringing that leg up, bringing it out to the side. So remember, we don't want to follow it as we go. It's all in the knee. So even if you have to stop right here and bring it down, that's okay. This is what we're focusing on. Do the boring work, and then it will pay off later. So mobility is one of those things that you can literally do any time of the day. You know, first thing in the morning, it's a great thing to do when you first wake up instead of checking your phone. Switch sides. Just getting more active first thing in the morning. And these are great exercises. Oop, pardon me, almost fall over. Not paying attention. Great exercises that you can do. Get your body rolling. Get all the cracks out. So we're taking that all the way out. And one thing that I think both of us forgot to mention is anytime we're doing this one where we're trying to balance on that supporting foot, we want to make sure that our toes pointed right straight forward, that we're not kind of kicked out to the side or turned in. We want those toes pointing straight forward. So let's do one more time. Kick it out and around. Perfect. Let's take her down to the mat. This next one is a real doozy, but it's great. So it's called a 90-90, and why it's called that is because our legs are supposed to be bent in a 90-degree. So this one might be a little bit confusing. So you just want your legs to make that L shape. So that front one, and same with that back one. You want it to make that position. Now this one might be super difficult for some. And if you do feel like you can't really sit up straight, use your hand on the side to hold you up. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rock forward and back. So we wanna keep that back as straight as we can. Come up, and you're really gonna feel that pull right through your butt, a little bit in your inner hip. So we're just gonna lean forward and up. And like I said, remember, if you feel like you can't sit up straight, use that hand to help you out. So a few more. And let's switch sides. So same thing, get that 90 in the front, 90 in the back. Use that hand for support if you need to. Let's lean it forward and back. Feel that pull. And we want to do this 6 to 8 times on each side. And when we're leaning forward, we really want to think about driving that knee and your ankle into the ground. So you really want to push them into the ground. Last 2, keeping that back straight. Last 1. Good. And those are our ankle, knee, and hip mobility exercises for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in to this episode of Get Fit, and we hope to see you next time.